What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope everybody had a great Christmas, great New Year's. Welcome to 2024, people. I haven't been uploading as much the past week or two because A, I just moved into my new place, and B, I just started a new job, so congrats to me. So I've just been, settling in with a job and the new place. But either this week or next week, I should be back to consistently uploading every day or every other day or every 2 days or something like that. So just expect more videos more often, like usual, more than what I've been doing the past week and a half. But with all that out of the way, as you can tell by the title, guys, for today's video, I just want to keep it simple and talk about what to expect for this year going forward with the Transformers brand. So first off, the comics. Skybound is still going to be doing their thing. We don't know how long the story is going to be running for. I think issue 4 is coming out this month, or issue 5 or something like that. I gotta catch up on this comic, actually. I've only read issue 1, and I said I was gonna review each issue, and I haven't even done that. I'm sorry about that, guys. I've honestly just forgot about this comic, to be honest with you. Not that it's bad, I've just forgotten about it, and I've had other things to focus about in life. But yeah, Skybound still doing the comics, probably gonna have more of a G.I. Joe crossover this year as the story develops, and probably too to coincide with whatever the Rise of the Beast sequel is going to be that may or may not include G.I. Joe within the next couple years. Moving into the cartoon world of things with Transformers, Earthspark, expect another season or 2 of that this year. I don't know if this year is going to be the last year or next year is, because, the show has been going on for almost 2 years now. So I would assume within the next year or 2 years maybe that the show might be coming to an end, because if you look at the track record for Transformers cartoons, the longest a show really runs for is about 4 years, give or take. Sometimes it's closer to the 5-year mark, which I think Cyberverse was, because Cyberverse ended in early 2022 or late 2021, right? So 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, so about 4 or 5 years, yeah. So I wouldn't expect Cyberverse running more until 2025 or 2026, but I don't know, I could see it stretch into 27, just depends on the sales and how much people are actually watching Earthspark. But yeah, expect more episodes of Earthspark, another season or 2. In terms of the video game side of things, we know Reactivate is coming. We know the rollout for this game should be starting more this year. We don't know if the game is actually going to release. I say this every time I talk about Reactivate, basically. This game, guys, the marketing for this game is just ridiculous. We know absolutely nothing about it, and it was announced a year and a half ago. It's very weird to me that Hasbro is marketing it this way, but obviously it's because of the messy behind the scenes of the development with this game, things not going the way they want it to, changing companies all the time since this game has been in development since I think like 2017, 2018. They've switched companies twice, I think, or maybe even 3 times. That's just me guessing. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember exactly. But Reactivate, I'd expect more stuff happening in terms of the rollout. I wouldn't really necessarily expect this game to drop this year, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if it actually did come out either later on this summer or sometime in the fall or winter of this year. I would not be surprised at all, and honestly, I would welcome it. I mean, obviously, we haven't had a decent console Transformers game in almost 10 years now. It's been since freaking Devastation. Like, are you kidding me? That was in 2015. That was almost 9 years ago, going on 10 years now. It makes no sense why Hasbro has been dragging their feet with a new console game for Transformers, one of the biggest franchises in the world, and we still can't get a decent game for almost a decade. It's worse than Marvel games at this point. Marvel used to have, a little bit of a bad reputation with games, but these recent past few years, they turned that around. Why can't they do the same with Transformers? Transformers. It just makes no sense, guys. But hey, hopefully this year is more so good news for Reactivate, more so than this past year, 2023 was, because we had that delay. The figures went up for pre-order, even though we had no trailer or release date for the game. And outside of that, we had no new information on the game at all. So, yeah, I'd expect at least more of a rollout and more info and probably another trailer released for Reactivate this year, but I'm not so sure on a release actually coming in 2024. But again, it could. So enough with the video game talk. Let's move on into the movies. So, we know we're getting the animated movie, the prequel, Transformers 1, which, by the way, I've been thinking about this recently. Transformers 1 as a title really isn't that great. It's not Transformers 1, it's not the first Transformers movie, so I don't know why they would title that. Yeah, I know it's supposed to be a prequel set on Cybertron before everything that we know and love about Transformers, so I guess that aspect of, the first step in the story, the first of many stories, in that sort of sense, I can see why they called it 1. But, man, they could have came up with so many different, cooler, way better names in terms of what we know with the story with some of these recent leaks. But hey, Transformers 1 it is. So this movie is going to be coming out in September of this year. So in, 5-6 months? Which is pretty good. The figures, we saw the street date. I think that was for sometime this summer. So a little bit different than the usual April release date because, the usual movies come out in June, but this movie's in September, so they got to push the toys back a couple months as well to coincide with the movie's release. But yeah, expect a ton of figures. There's going to be some Studio Series figures for Transformers 1, the mainline gimmick figures for kids. Expect those to be flooding the shelves for the next year and a half into 2025 probably. So yeah, other than that, I'd maybe expect some updates on the Rise of the Beast sequel at some point this year, probably later on this year at the end of the summer or during the fall or winter season of 2024. That could be delayed and go into early 2025 because of what happened with the writers and actors strike a few months back. I'm sure that pushed back the production of the Rise of the Beast sequel a little bit by at least a few months, I'd say, because we did know that they started production on the sequel right before Rise of the Beast came out, basically, in May or June. They started pitching story ideas for the G.I. Joe collab and stuff like that. And if you guys remember correctly, in the interview, the infamous, at this point, I think it was Singapore interview, Stephen Caple Jr., he pointed out that they added in the G.I. Joe scene 2 weeks before they turned the movie in. So all this stuff is pretty recent, the developments in the story that they want to do for the sequel. So I wouldn't be surprised if the news and updates on the Rise of the Beast sequel get pushed back into probably early 2025 at the latest, if I were to guess. But I don't know. I could see news dropping for the sequel this year at some point, either in the summertime or in the winter. Moving on from the movie side of things, let's talk about the merchandise and the figures, people. So we know we're getting some mainline gimmick figures for the Transformers 1 movie. We're getting a few Studio Series figures for that movie. We're getting a couple things for Reactivate this year. Obviously, Earthspark is still going to be having its toy line coinciding with all these different figures. Legacy United, we've had the full 4-wave breakdowns for those for, I think, almost a year now, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Usually we don't get leaks for full waves that early, but we did, which is pretty cool. So all 4 waves of United. We're going to be getting the exclusive lines, the Starseekers line for Walmart. We're going to be getting an Amazon subline, which is rumored to be Masters of Mayhem, which is the Decepticon version of the Wreckers team. So a lot of different candidates could be put into that Amazon subline, so I cannot wait for that at all. Oh, that's going to be so cool. Hopefully, if it's going to be cool if they pick the right characters for Masters of Mayhem, because if they play their cards wrong, it could just be another Wrecker subline where it's just a bunch of boring repaints that really nobody even asked for. But who knows? We don't even know who's going to be in that subline with Amazon yet. But in terms of the figures, that is all we know at this point in time in this recording. But that is still a lot, and still a lot we don't even know about. Buzzworthy still going to be going on, even though the Buzzworthy branding and name and logo is going to be ending. There's still going to be a line of Target exclusives this year, and I'd assume going forward. So you got that going on still. But yeah, other than that, that's about all we know so far for this year in terms of figures and merchandise for Transformers, and for everything else going forward that I talked about earlier in this video. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. We got the game, we got Earthspark, we got the movie, and we got the toy lines as usual, and of course the new introduction of the Skybound comics still going strong this year, hopefully. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below. Which is your favorite piece of merchandise or media that is dropping this year for Transformers? Which one are you excited about the most, and which one are you least excited for? All my social medias are linked down below: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. My email's also down below if y'all want to hit me up about business inquiries, or if you want to message me about whatever, or if you want to commission a diorama from me, because I make dioramas for people for their stop motions photography or just regular display shelves in their homes. You could either hit me up on any of my social medias or just email me and we can work out a deal. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.